What's up guys, it's James here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how you can hack Airbnb's algorithm to get insane profits and insane returns on your Airbnb listings. No, this is not a joke. I have learned over the years how to take advantage of the way that Airbnb's search algorithm is structured to reap massive rewards, massive profits from your properties on Airbnb. So I'm going to share with you that in today's video. Now, if you're interested in learning how to either manage other people's properties on Airbnb and build a full-time business, a full-time income doing that, or you're interested in actually investing and purchasing your own properties for Airbnb, then we've got links in the description down below for free trainings on both of those topics. So just make sure you check out the description there. Each one of those trainings is linked in a list there, so you can check it out if you are looking to earn a full-time income managing other people's properties on Airbnb and you want to deploy some of these tactics in that, and you want to learn exactly step-by-step how you can get started managing other people's properties, then check out the link in the description down below for a free training talking about exactly how to do that. And if you are interested in actually purchasing properties and building incredible cash flow and long-term wealth through short-term rental investing, then there's a free training in the description down below that'll teach you exactly how to do that step-by-step as well. So I'd highly recommend checking out either one of those trainings. So with that being said, let's jump into it and let's talk about how you can hack Airbnb's algorithm for insane returns. So really this starts first and foremost with day number -1. Not day 0, not day 1. This is the day before you go ahead and launch your listing is where you need to start. So step 1 in this process is putting together an incredible listing. Now, trust me, I'm not, saying this as if, oh my gosh, just do the obvious stuff. But what I mean here is that you really need to, before launching your listing, not after, not tweak it after and improve it and make it better. Before launching your listing, you need to put the listing together so that it's basically perfect. You want to have it as far along as possible. Now, I don't endorse just nitpicking every small little detail and procrastinating the launch, but I also do not endorse rushing to launch the property. So what I hear a lot of people doing is, hey, I'm just gonna take pictures with my iPhone right now, and then I'll launch the listing so I can get it up sooner because I can only get the photographer to come in next week. So I'll launch with my iPhone photos and I'll change it out to the professional photos a week from now. Do not do that, right? Do not skip over that really crucial step. That's not nitpicking the details, that's literally jumping over the most important factor to success. So it's really critical. Hire a professional photographer, take the time, craft an incredible headline, make an amazing listing description, get all your pricing details dialed in, go through and add all the different settings in your Airbnb profile, make sure that's all set up properly. Once you've accomplished that, that's when you can launch. Once your listing is amazing, that's when you can launch. And the reason we do this is to leverage the way that Airbnb's algorithm works specifically during the first few hours and first few days of your listing going live on Airbnb. Now, I've talked about this briefly in other videos, but I'll break it down here again, is that the way Airbnb as a platform succeeds is by just making more money by getting more bookings. Now, they get more bookings when more hosts and more guests are on the platform. Now, it cannot happen with just one side of the equation. So they need to make it a marketplace where new hosts can easily succeed when they come onto the platform. They know that if a host comes onto their platform and doesn't get bookings, they're not going to stick around. So in order for Airbnb as a company to grow, they need to be a platform where new hosts can easily experience success on the platform. Now, that's a little bit tricky to do without giving them some additional support, because right off the bat, when there's a new host, they don't have reviews, they don't have a track record, they don't have experience, so there's a few things working against them. So Airbnb needs to give them an additional boost in performance when they first launch their listing, so they have a chance at competing with the more experienced listings on the platform. So how this actually shakes out is that anyone who's launched a listing on Airbnb will tell you that when you initially launch the listing, it gets a huge influx of views. So that's really the most that Airbnb can do, is they can give you a whole bunch of views. They'll put you up high in the search results. They'll show your listing to more people. So your listing is going to get a whole lot of views. Now, if you do a really great job with the title and the cover photo, those are the two main things with any new listing, and and you price yourself effectively. And then what that means during the launch is actually underpricing your listing, so it's more attractive to more people. Then you will turn those views into actual listing visits. People will actually click through to your listing and they'll actually check it out. Now, if you've nailed everything else, then they're going to actually book your property. So that stuff is sort of out of Airbnb's control. They can give you a whole bunch of views, but if you have a terrible listing, it's going to have an awful conversion rate on those views, on that traffic. So if, on the other hand, you do a great job of everything, you're going to get conversions. And what does that mean? Well, Airbnb's algorithm is constantly doing this calculation, especially when you first launch your listing, of if I show this property to, let's say, 100 people, how many of them are ultimately going to book that property? You know, that boils down to a few different steps. They have to click through it first, and they have to check it out. They have to request or instant book it, whatever it is. But they want to know, you know, if I show this property to 100 people, how many of them actually book? And ultimately, at the end of the day, what Airbnb's algorithm is trying to figure out is, when I show this listing to 100 people, how much money do we make? How much money does Airbnb walk away with? Because the more often it gets booked and the higher value it gets booked for, then the more money Airbnb is going to make. So if you have a property that makes more money per booking and that gets booked more often, that has a high conversion rate, then you're going to be a more beneficial property for Airbnb to show to guests than another similar property. So what you want to make sure that you do is maximize your conversion rate in that initial launch. That's why I say you want to actually underprice your listing initially a little bit so that you can get more conversions, because that communicates to Airbnb's algorithm, hey, people love this property, they book it, and when we show this property to people, they make money, or we make money. So what we want to do going forward is show this property to more people. So that's the way it works. Now, what that means for you long-term is that now long-term, you're going to be higher up in the search results, you're going to get more views, more bookings, and you're going to have more success. So that's what we want to do, is we want to really kind of game the algorithm initially by, not doing anything black hat, not doing anything shady. We just want to really nail it. We want to have as good of a listing as possible. We want to really come out of the gate strong so we can get high conversions. And we also want to underprice our listing. Airbnb has a feature where you can add an initial guest discount. For the first few guests that book, they get a discount. Turn that baby on, because the more conversions you can get early on, yes, you're going to be stepping over some dollars right now, but you're going to be picking up $100 bills later on, or you're stepping over pennies now and you're picking up dollars later. What I see hosts doing all too often is trying to come out of the gate with optimized pricing, with the highest price they can possibly get. And sure, they're not going to get their property booked at lower rates than they ought to, but it's going to hurt their conversion rate, and that's going to hurt their performance long term. So in that sense, they're really stepping over pennies to try to pick up, stepping over dollars to try to pick up pennies, as opposed to stepping over pennies to try to pick up dollars. Hopefully that analogy wasn't too confusing for you. All I'm saying is that yes, you will have some short-term losses on your booking revenue if you underprice your listing, but long-term it's going to more than pay off, because you'll show up higher in the search results and you'll perform better overall. Really, this is what it comes down to. And then ultimately, the long term, you just need to make sure that you're dialed in with your pricing strategy so your listing still maintains that high booking rate, that high conversion rate. Because if you're overpricing your listing, or if your listing's photography isn't good, or any elements of your property aren't performing well, your reviews are bad, then your conversion rate is going to suffer, and that's going to do the opposite of what you want. If your conversion rate is bad, then Airbnb's algorithm, I should say, understands, hey, you know what? If we show this property to people, we don't make a lot of money, so let's show it to fewer people. And then the cycle continues in the wrong direction. If they show it to fewer people, you get fewer bookings, and if you get fewer bookings, they show it to fewer people. So it becomes this really big downward spiral. So you want to be in the opposite side of that. You want to always have things dialed in, always make sure your listing is optimized as much as possible, and that is the key to success on Airbnb. I hope this video has been really valuable for you. Again, there's free trainings linked in the description down below that go more into depth about absolutely everything from A to Z. Obviously, it's just one component of successfully either managing other people's properties and earning a full-time income doing so on Airbnb, or investing in properties for Airbnb. Actually optimizing performance and understanding the algorithm is just one very small element of that overall kind of structure, that overall strategy. So if you want to learn more in depth, all the details, the whole step-by-step run through for either one of those strategies, whether it's managing other people's properties or investing in properties, if that's what you're looking to do, then there's free trainings linked in the description down below for you to check out those and get the real step-by-step strategies, along with, we're going to give you some free tools, everything we can do to help you you to succeed as much and as quickly as possible. So again, as always, if you did like this video, if you got value from it, if you found it insightful, or if you just like me, or if you don't like me, or if you didn't like this video, no matter what, please just take a quick second and hit that like button. Give me a like on the video. It really helps me out tremendously with YouTube's algorithm. And funny enough, it helps me out to get more views on this channel, which ultimately I want to get this video in front of more people. I want to get this channel in front of more people. I want to keep growing because I always love to grow and I always love to help more people. So if you could help me to help more people, that would be amazing. And all you need to do is just take that low cost of 1/2 of 1 second and click that like button, and it does a lot of help for me. So I'd appreciate that. And if you're not already, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. We post 2 new videos every single week. So you want to make sure that you stay up to date with that content where I try to bring as much value as possible. If you have ideas for other videos you'd like to see, other things you want to talk to me about, questions, whatever it might be, leave them in the comment section down below, and just make sure you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.